Hello, my name is Robert Wrixon, and I'm a newly appointed director at Prince Silver Corp. Prince Silver is a new Nevada-focused exploration company advancing our flagship Prince project, which is a past-producing silver and polymetallic mine with significant growth potential. Today, I'm sharing a very important overview on one important part of that project which adds to that significant growth potential, the past drilling, or more to the point, the lack thereof, of the Pioche Shale. What is the Pioche Shale, why it matters, and why we believe it represents an exciting opportunity within the wider mineralized zone at Prince. So, what is the Pioche Shale? We can start with a little bit of history, which people might find somewhat interesting. Pioche itself is an historic mining town in Lincoln County, Nevada. Got started in around the 1860s after some major silver discoveries in the area, and it quickly became one of Nevada's richest silver producing districts. Most of that historic production came from carbonate-hosted silver, lead, zinc deposits from Cambrian age limestones and dolomites. A lot of you may know these as carbonate replacement deposits or mantos, and they can be extremely high-grade polymetallic deposits, very often rich in silver, especially in this part of the world. The Pioche Shale is an early to middle Cambrian geological formation, about 520 to 510 million years old. It's mostly made up of dark shales with some limestone layers, and actually happens also to be famous amongst archaeologists as well as geologists because it has some very well preserved Cambrian age fossils. But the key thing here, before I digress, for us to note as shareholders here is that the Pioche Shale unit lies in very close contact to most of the key mineralized zones in the district and has soaked up a lot of the original carbonate replacement metals, and it therefore makes it, we now know, an important target for modern exploration. So what's the relevance for Prince Silver? Within our Prince project area, the Pioche Shale has been historically overlooked. All historic production was focused on the ultra-high grade fissure veins, and the bulk tonnage potential of the overlying shale units was totally ignored, not even assayed most of the time. In fact, the shale was never assayed until a 2012 drill program conducted by International Silver, which finally revealed significant gold and silver mineralization over very wide intersections, sometimes starting very close to surface in certain zones. Um, and an historic drill highlight that you should see on screen at the moment, and I have here on my screen, is 55 meters, for example, from at 90 grams per ton silver, zero point 0.4 grams per ton gold, just over 2.5% zinc, and 2.1% lead, starting from 4.5 meters. 90 gram per ton silver over such a wide zone from surface is pretty great. And when you add in the other metals, you actually get to, at today's prices, around 225 gram per ton silver equivalent, which is exceptional over such a wide intersection. And as you can see, this 51 meters of really nice stuff from surface is only part of a much wider mineralized, slightly discontinuous zone, but in total about 140 meters of mineralization, more or less from surface in this Pioche shale, with these solid grades continuing for most of that intersection length. This shale unit, the Pioche shale, extends for quite a long way across and a long strike within the project area at Prince, and it gets quite a bit deeper in parts um, because it is so extensive. But the gold and silver values tend to remain strong, at least where we've drilled so far. For example, in PRC 10, which is another hole, which is drilled in that same program, quite far away from PRC 11 that you see on screen, it intersected 71 meters at 1.4 grams per ton gold, 51 grams per ton silver. But that was starting from 192 meters. So what's most interesting here from a resource estimation point of view is that because the holes that tested the Pioche shales are so sporadic, there weren't enough nearby holes to link our wireframes. So our current non-compliant exploration target estimate of 25 to 43 million tons of resource or potential resource, exploration target in this case, it only includes a small radius of influence around these holes. As you can see on the slide on your screen, these red zones around the PRC 11 drill hole show what's currently in our latest internal estimation. And you can see there isn't much continuity here because there was no other holes to link to. Now, if you can get more drilled intersections into this unit and confirm continuity of mineralization, there's substantial tonnage upside, as you can see. So, and some other examples of scout drilling that was actually assayed within the Pioche Shale, uh, which also came up with some decent results. You've got CDH 36, which had 61 meters at just over 2 grams per ton gold, 38 grams per ton silver. And in UDH 55, we found 41 meters at zero point 0.7 grams per ton gold, 68 grams per ton silver, with actually over 3% zinc in that area as well. So, this is a very, you can already probably tell why this is very important for the company and this particular project. If you look closely, in fact, at the historical assay results, you'll even see that the high-grade fissure veins that were originally mined by the old timers are still present. For example, in UDH 53, 2.4 meters. So, these veins aren't that wide, but 2.4 meters isn't bad. 11 grams per ton gold, 377 grams per ton silver, 26% zinc. These are classic high, ultra high grade fissure veins. These are still around, but it remains a target at Prince, and hopefully will form part of the overall project area, and I'm sure it will. But the really exciting upside in terms of significant tonnage comes from properly testing the Pioche Shale unit, in our opinion. Um, and what's also exciting, as you'll have noticed from the intersections that you have seen on screen and what I've just talked about, is that the Pioche Shale appears to be gold and silver rich, in fact, when compared to the historic carbonate hosted deposit, which is very lead zinc rich. Um, this gives us a whole new growth vector beyond what was historically targeted, of course, as well. And if confirmed with further drilling, this will significantly increase our resource expectations at the Prince project. And in fact, the independent technical report produced from our Australian resource consultants, when they looked at this, highlighted the Pioche's area's outstanding potential um, for zinc, lead, gold, and silver, all of which we see in the Pioche Shale, and in fact manganese, which is an additional product that we see coming in and out, particularly in the shale. So, what are the next steps? Well, pretty exciting. Our first drill program at Prince is set to begin later this month, very soon, actually, in a week or so. And we'll focus on expanding these higher grade zones that we know to exist, and very importantly, validating and infilling the historical results, including those in the Pioche Shale, and defining the broader mineralized system. Obviously, we see the Pioche Shale as a key growth element for the Prince project and one that could deliver substantial gold and silver ounces above and beyond the current exploration target. And that is the key here. So, in closing, thank you for watching. Please keep an eye out for upcoming drilling news. And for more information, please visit the website at princesilvercorp.com.